Welcome to Minghui Radio's Falun Gong News, direct from China and around the world. Topics include news about the persecution of Falun Gong in China, local events, and special items of interest. Now for this week's stories.
USA. The annual Veterans Day Parade took place in San Francisco, California on November 9th, and the Tianguo Marching Band joined in the festivities and won high praise from parade organizers and spectators. Many people said that the band brought joyful and resonant music with its performance of the pieces Falun Dafa is Good and the Star-Spangled Banner. Practitioners demonstrating the Falun Dafa exercises were part of the entourage. Public TV channel host Gregory Richardson commented, "You are the best. Truthfulness, compassion, and forbearance are great." Colonel Doug Bullard has watched the parade from the stage every year and said, "Their music was impressive and striking. It's perfectly done. What a happy surprise. The San Francisco 49ers should invite them for halftime." The director of the Taipei Economic and Cultural Office in San Francisco, David Wu, also watched the parade from the stage with other dignitaries. He said their performance was great and left me with a deep impression.
The Netherlands. A Falun Dafa Information Day was held in the city of Gouda on November 1st. Practitioners set up a display board at Turfmarkt in the center of the city, demonstrated the exercises, and shared information about the practice and its persecution. Many tourists signed a petition calling for an end to the oppression. A man read the display boards with photos showing the torture of practitioners and asked about the persecution in China. He said, "I come from the US. I am here to accompany my wife for short-term work. I've never heard of the persecution. It is terrible." He signed the petition to help stop the CCP's state-sanctioned forced organ harvesting and said he would learn more about Falun Dafa.
Mexico. Falun Dafa practitioners held a series of activities in October to introduce the spiritual practice to residents in the community of Tijuana. Over the course of 3 days, the practitioners visited several key locations throughout the city to share the benefits of the practice and raise awareness of the Chinese Communist Party's persecution of Falun Dafa practitioners in China. Activities were held at Tenente Guerrero Park along the Tijuana Boardwalk, at the CREA Sports Complex, and at Tijuana Beach. The final day of activities took place in Morelos Park, the largest and most iconic park in the city. Popular with families for gatherings, picnics, and visits to the zoo. Practitioners set up in a central area to demonstrate the exercises, distribute information about the practice and the persecution, and collect signatures calling for an end to the persecution in China. Throughout the weekend, numerous people expressed an interest in learning Falun Dafa, and some experienced the exercises.
Japan. The Jionishi Community Center held a celebration in the city of Hiroshima on November 9th. The event marked the center's 40th anniversary. In addition to stage performances, there were special food stalls and handicrafts at the celebration. Falun Dafa practitioners have taught the exercises for free at the community center since 2008, and many people, including the community center staff, know about the practice. Practitioners performed the waist drums on the stage and demonstrated the Falun Dafa exercises during the celebration. Many people who tried the exercises said they experienced warmth and commended the principles of truthfulness, compassion, and forbearance. Event attendee Ms. Taji said, "I think the most attractive aspect of Falun Dafa is that it emphasizes character improvement." Ms. Zinimoto said, "I think this practice is very good. After practicing, I felt my body warming up and my blood circulation improving. It is very good for health. I am very interested."
Romania. Falun Dafa practitioners set up an information booth at Expo Natura 2025 at Vivo Mall Constanța, from October 23rd to October 26th. On November 1st, they held a similar event in the Old Town Center of Brasov. They handed out informational materials to passers-by, talked to people, and collected signatures on a petition calling to stop the CCP's persecution of Falun Dafa. Passers-by sympathized with practitioners and wanted to help stop the persecution. Some said that if people lived in accordance with Falun Dafa's principles of truthfulness, compassion, and forbearance, their lives would be better. A student named Antonia from the College of Political, Administrative, and Communication Sciences in the city of Cluj said, "I read what was written on the banners. I clearly saw the word genocide in red. I saw persecution, and I saw the word communism. We know very well what communism is. I'm going to sign the petition to help stop the persecution." She also urged practitioners to expand their outreach activities in universities to catalyze student support.
South Korea. The South Korean Falun Dafa Association held a parade in the largest Chinese community in the city of Seoul on November 2nd. They celebrated the 450 million Chinese people who've quit the CCP and its affiliated organizations. Falun Gong practitioners distributed Minghui Weekly in both Chinese and Korean in the Chinese community on parade day. A Korean storekeeper stepped out of his shop to take a look when he heard the Tianguo marching band performance. He said, "Communist slogans sound good," and claimed that everything is shared, but in reality it exploits innocent people. One can see the outcome of the former Soviet Union. Communism does not work. A restaurant owner asked for more informational materials to share with his employees and customers. A Korean billiard hall owner asked for more newspapers to share with Chinese customers. Falun Gong practitioner Ha Yong-uk reported currently 500 to 1,200 Chinese people in the Daeryong-dong area quit the CCP organizations every month. Prior to the parade, Falun Dafa practitioners demonstrated the exercises in front of the Gaoda Gulao Hospital, and the Secretary General of the South Korean Falun Dafa Association, Dr. Woo Se-lee, read a statement before the parade. It said, "The withdrawal movement is not a political statement, but a moral and conscious choice. It is a spiritual awakening movement for freedom." The following are selected cases of persecution of Falun Gong practitioners in China. Mr. Meng Fanghui, a 55-year-old man in Jilin province, died on October 3, 2025, after suffering years of health complications induced by torture he endured while serving a 6-year term for his faith in Falun Gong. He was predeceased by his parents and sister, who also died as a result of the persecution of Falun Gong. Mr. Meng always held firm to his faith after the Chinese Communist Party launched a nationwide campaign against the practice. He suffered brutal persecution as a result. Mr. Meng's parents, Mr. Meng Qingyao and Miss Sun Guizhi, and his sister, Miss Meng Fan-ying, also practiced Falun Gong. The elder Mr. Meng died of a stroke in spring 2014. His sister was arrested after being reported for distributing Falun Gong informational materials and given 2 years of forced labor. She died of a stroke in 2018 at the age of 46. Miss Sun, the family matriarch, struggled to cope with her husband's and daughter's deaths. She fell ill in October 2021 and passed away shortly afterwards. She was 78.
When Ms. Yuan Yimei completed a 5-year prison term in July, she was emaciated and her back was hunched due to years of abuse. Once a healthy person, the 56-year-old Guangdong province resident looked much older than her age. Ms. Yuan was arrested after she was reported by several students for giving them informational materials that exposed the Chinese Communist Party's ongoing persecution of her faith. During her prison term, she was subjected to brainwashing almost every day and beaten up by inmates at the order of the guards, and then she was force-fed while on a hunger strike in protest of her incarceration. Ms. Yuan has been repeatedly targeted since the persecution began. Prior to her latest prison sentence, she was given 2 years of forced labor in 2001 and 3 years in 2003. In 2012, she was arrested again and detained.
Mr. Zhang Yuntian, a 58-year-old from Guangdong province, was sentenced to 4 years for his faith in Falun Gong. His appeal was denied and he is currently being held at a local detention center. Mr. Zhang was arrested last year after he posted information about Falun Gong on a TikTok-type social media platform. He was repeatedly denied bail, and his mother was so distraught that she died, unable to see her son one last time. This is not the first time that Mr. Zhang has been targeted for his faith. He previously served a 3-year forced labor term and a 10-year prison term while living in Dalian City. While held at the Dalian labor camp, Mr. Zhang was stripped naked and shocked with electric batons simultaneously for more than 1 hour. He passed out and the guards poured cold water on him. After he came to, they continued the electric shock torture. He still has scars on his body from this torture.
Ms. Xu Shenfeng, a 62-year-old woman in Yunnan province, has been sentenced to 2 years and fined 5,000 yuan for her faith in Falun Gong. The harsh sentence is for using banknotes printed with Falun Gong messages to purchase goods at a farmer's market. Ms. Xu was arrested at home, and the police confiscated her Falun Gong books, music players, flash drives, and video players. Her daughter and son-in-law, who share the same residence with her and do not practice Falun Gong, were also arrested. This is not the first time that Ms. Xu has been sentenced for her faith. She was given 3 years and fined 10,000 yuan following a previous arrest. While serving time, she was forced to take unknown drugs 3 times a day, every day, for almost 2 years. She became weak and sore after taking the pills. She also suffered from memory loss and severe diarrhea. After she was released, she still faced constant harassment by the police.
Falun Dafa praised at Multicultural Festival in Canada. The World Multicultural Festival took place in the city of Ottawa on November 1st. Local Falun Dafa coordinator Xing Qihua said, "We've participated in this event since 2022. We demonstrate the exercises and introduce the principles of truthfulness, compassion, and forbearance, which are welcomed by the hosting organization and the public." The coordinator of the festival, Gypsy Ghosh, is an influential educator, entrepreneur, and cultural promoter. She said, "Falun Gong practitioners have long supported our activities and promote meditation, health, and well-being. I hope through their participation that people learn about Falun Gong." When event attendee Chris Mall discovered that Falun Gong is taught for free online, she said, "This is great. I believe many people here will attend the online class." Audience members were drawn by the exercise demonstration on stage, and some people imitated the hand gestures. One was a percussion artist from Central Africa named Wandra Tabzo, who often performs at community events. He watched the practitioner's exercise demonstration, imitated the movements, and said he felt extraordinary energy when he tried the second exercise. Wandra shared, "All the exercises are very helpful in clearing one's aura, activating inner energy, and maintaining balance, which I call bottom-up balance." He reported that when he did the exercise movement of holding the law wheel on both sides of the head, he felt that both sides of his brain were activated. Wandra said, "This is completely new to me," and added, "I felt Falun Gong activated and purified my field. It is amazing." He said, "We don't always have to rely on drugs and supplements. We can simply practice Qigong and meditation." Wandra said that many people don't understand why they have illnesses, they do not live well, and they do not understand why they cannot balance their energy. He feels it is because they no longer believe in traditional values, are not sincere, lack compassion, and don't forgive others. He hopes that everyone can learn Falun Dafa and be inspired to increase their wisdom.
Experience Sharing Conference in Bulgaria reveals elevation of character. A Falun Dafa Cultivation Experience Sharing Conference took place in Sofia, Bulgaria on November 2nd. This is the 11th year this conference has been held in Bulgaria. 13 practitioners described their recent cultivation experiences and described how they improved their character while overcoming challenges. One experience report by a practitioner named Alexandra, who began practicing Falun Dafa in 2013, recounted her experiences in improving herself while she participated in petition drives and the Art of Genshan Ren exhibition in Bulgaria. She said her determination and enthusiasm were strengthened by the moving documentaries produced by the Falun Dafa Information Center. She shared that by recalling important details from films such as Hard to Believe, images and facts remained in her mind when clarifying the truth. A man named Ivo encountered Falun Dafa 8 years ago when he read the main book of the practice, Juan Falun, for the first time. He was surprised by the truths, principles, and laws revealed in the book. A year or two earlier, his mother was diagnosed with cancer and was in serious condition. She suffered immensely. Ivo began to study healing techniques, attending many courses, and was eventually able to heal his mother. When he was doing this so-called healing and cleansing, he wasn't a practitioner and really believed he had a gift to do this and help people. As a practitioner, Ivo realized that healing people was unacceptable. He said it was going against the law of the universe and totally contrary to what the Master teaches us. After he began practicing, he stopped all those healing activities and practices. He progressed very slowly in understanding and applying the Fa and the laws of the universe. Ivo said, "I had too many attachments that I didn't even know about." He experienced a dramatically positive change after joining a project to translate Master's teachings into Bulgarian. He said that it is important to try to admit to ourselves, with a pure heart, the truth of our behaviors. A practitioner named Velia shared about her difficult childhood. Her parents did not stand up for her, and her brother bullied and beat her. She ran away from home when she was 14 and went to live in another city with a friend. She lied about her age and started working. Velia described resorting to a self-defense that involved acting rude and bossy and taking control, as if she was strong, untouchable, and invincible. She began practicing Falun Dafa in the summer of 2016. From studying the teachings, she clearly understood the difference between Buddha nature and demon nature. Velia had a dream in which demons were torturing someone. She reported, "I saw how ugly and ruthless they were, how they enjoyed it and liked to mock their victim." That body had fallen prey to the manipulation of those demons and was wrapped in something like an invisible trap. This vision made her even more determined to eliminate all her attachments, which included being competitive, self-promotion, and self-interest. Although she had superficially eliminated the attachments in the past, she decided to try to figure out what fed them. By examining their nature, Velia discovered that the most prominent issue behind every attachment was fear. When she was truly determined to completely remove the attachment of fear from her consciousness, Velia confronted it. She said, "With Falun Dafa, I see the true power of Buddha nature and its virtues. Master accepted me with all my shortcomings and mistakes from the past, along with my strengths and weaknesses. His great compassion teaches me even more what it means to be merciful."
People praise Falun Dafa during parade in Mexico. The Catrinas Parade took place in Xalapa, the capital city of the state of Veracruz, on October 25th. A total of 48 groups participated, and Falun Dafa practitioners were among them. According to the organizers, the event drew around 20,000 spectators and 4,700 participants. The parade was part of Mexico's traditional Day of the Dead celebrations, during which Mexican people celebrate the lives of their departed friends and family. This year, the festivities held a special meaning, as a series of floods had inundated the region a few weeks prior, and the organizers dedicated the parade to the lives lost in the tragedy. Some practitioners carried portraits of Falun Dafa practitioners who died as a result of the unjust persecution carried out by the CCP. This aligned with the Day of the Dead theme. They received strong encouragement from the public as they peacefully raised awareness of the ongoing genocide against Falun Dafa practitioners in China, who have been subjected to illegal imprisonment, torture, brainwashing, and killing through non-consensual organ harvesting while still alive. For many people, the Falun Dafa procession and its promise of inner peace through traditional values was welcome. They said that seeing the messages on the practitioners' banners gave them a sense of peace and hope in this difficult time. Leading the group was a waist drum team, which was warmly received by spectators who cheered and applauded as they marched by. Numerous people said they also admired practitioners' Falun Dafa exercise demonstrations, and many people said they were interested in learning the movements. The practitioners' boat-shaped parade float especially captured the attention of attendees, who were surprised and amazed by its striking design. People applauded enthusiastically as it passed by. An administrative assistant named Ana Carolina Viveros shared that she really enjoyed the Falun Dafa group's participation in the event. She said, "I felt they were like light in the darkness."
Thank you for listening to the Minghui Radio Podcast. For more information, including news about the persecution of Falun Gong practitioners in China and experience sharing stories by practitioners around the world, please visit our website at en.minghui.org.